perfect students, English perfect students being taught by the perfect tutor. Welcome to a very interesting topic. Yeah, we are covering a very interesting topic which will never remain in the exam. Guess what? We are doing letter writing. Letter writing. Check the past papers. Paper 1, you will find questions on letter writing. So we have three types of letters. We have informal, semi-formal, and formal letter, also known as the business letter. But in this video, we are just going to look at these two, the informal and the semi-formal letter, So informal and semi-formal letter. As you know, your exam is in two papers. We have paper 1 and paper 2. So paper 1, you have to write two compositions. Then for paper 2, there is no compositions. Let us talk about paper 1. Paper 2, talking about structure, comprehension, and summary. Now, in paper 1, you'll be required to write two compositions. One from section A and one from section B. So from section A, you will have 6 questions or 5 questions sometimes, then you choose one. But from section B, there will be only one question which you will have no choice but to write it. So section B is compulsory. Now, in section A, paper 1, that's where you are going to find these two, the semi-formal and the informal letter. They come. When these two come, just know that they have given you free marks, free 20 marks for yourself, and you even get a distinction 1. Remember, English is about composition, comprehension, and summary. So when you miss composition, you miss everything. Okay, so let's start. We'll look at the informal letter. What is an informal letter, students? So this type of letter is the simplest. These are letters that we write to our friends or people of our own age, like someone you are of the same age. Don't write the elders, this informal letter. We write to people who are our friends or of our own age. Those friends of yours, they are the ones you can write the informal letter to. So in these letters, we use the kind of English we use when we are speaking to our friends. But not Malacca, no, not that language, but the Lakas in English now. So, regardless of us using the language that we use when speaking to our friends, the English must be correct and acceptable. Make sure it is correct and acceptable. So you can use terms like, hi, hello, how are you, my friend? Just like that. It's informal. You're just writing to your friend. So use the language that you can use when you're talking to your friend of your own age. Now, what is the layout? So you've heard that the language must be correct and acceptable, though you are using a friendly language, like the language that you can use when you're talking to your friend. Now, how should be the format? How do you go about writing the informal letter? So let us talk about the layout of the informal letter. So the first thing that you're supposed to write is the sender's address. It's the sender's address. This letter has only one address, which is the sender's address. The address of you, the person writing this letter. So this address is written on the top right of the page. The top right. So let me say this is my page. This is my page here. So you write your address here, top right. I hope we are together here. That's where you write your address. Now, there are rules of writing this address. The reason why I said letter ni ma free marks. The letter is very simple because just for the address itself, it will give you 3 marks just by you writing the address. So there are rules. Please pay attention to the rules of writing this address. So firstly, the address should slant. It should slant. Should come like this. So you write 15 IBIS Crescent, Kameza Township, Chililabombwe. So when you look at this one, there is a comma. After that one, there is a comma. Then the district. We don't put the province here. Let me know 6 Central Province. No, Lusaka Province. Here we put the district. So Chililabombwe. Chililabombwe must be in capital letters here. You write it in capital letters. Then you put a what? A full stop. You see? So this should slant. This is where we have PO box sometimes in the second line. This is where we have PO box 84, something like that. This is where you write your PO box, the post office box. Then at the end, you write the district. If it's Lusaka, put Lusaka in capital letters and then write a full stop there. You put a full stop. After you write this address here, you put the date. When are you writing this letter? So 5th June, 2017. What are you supposed to do here? Leave a space between the district and the date, approximately 1 line. You leave a space, then you write your date. Your date should be in straight line with the first letter here, with this first letter of your address. What am I talking about? You leave a space, here you leave a space, then this 5 here, the date, should be straight with this thing there, like that. Then you put a full stop. Very simple and straightforward. Address should slant, put commas there, then here you put a full stop, and you leave a space, write the date. The date should be in perpendicular. The date should be perpendicular. This is what we call perpendicular in mathematics. The perpendicular in a straight line with this. Straight line with the first letter here. Don't start the date from here to be wrong. It should be in a straight line with the first letter of your address. This is the sender's address, the address of you, the person who is writing. So in the exam, they won't give you the address. Don't say, where is the address? Think of the address. You can use the address of the school, the address of your house, everything, whatever. Come up with an address. Be creative in the exam. Don't ask the invigilators, no, where is the address? Where is the address? So that is how you write the sender's address. After you write the sender's address, your address, you write the salutation. Salutation, you're just introducing. Dear Joel, dear Mary, dear Cynthia, just like that. This is the salutation. You know, this letter is very simple. Dear, dear, just like that. So after the dear, put a comma. And the dear should be flashed with the imaginary line. You know, your books or your answer sheets will have this. There is a line here, imaginary line. So I mean, this D here should be flashed. Don't leave a space between the D and the line. Just that Dear Joe flashed with the what? The imaginary line. I hope we are together there. Then 3, you write the introduction. The introduction. This is very simple. So in the introduction, we only do greetings and the reason for writing the letter. Greetings. You know, this is an informal letter. It's a friendly letter. Hi, John. Hi, Joe. How are you? I hope you are doing fine. I hope and trust that you're aware. I've written this letter so that I can inform you about this and that, just like that. So in the introduction, you only greet the person and give the reasons for writing the letter. In the main body, you talk about the business of your letter. In indented paragraphs. Indented paragraphs. So your introduction firstly must have a paragraph. Your main body must also be written in paragraphs. A letter does not follow the format of these other compositions. No, 350 to 250 to 350 words. No, that's not how we write a letter. Letter should be a page, just a page like that. Don't write a very long letter. It will be boring to the reader. You know? So a letter should be short and precise. That's a simple informal letter. Very simple and straightforward. The conclusion. You conclude your letter and attract a reply. The farewell. The farewell. What do I mean by farewell? This here is the farewell. So yours lovely. You know, this is an informal letter. Do not use yours lovely when you're writing an application letter. You're writing to the boss. No, yours lovely. You know, they will chase you. So yours lovely, Musonda Chishimba. So here it's very simple and straightforward. You say yours lovely, comma, then you write your name in capital letters. Your full names must be written in capital letters here. So yours lovely, then you write your name in capital letters. Very simple and straightforward. No signature. Do not put a signature here. You put a signature, you lose marks. Great. So that is an informal letter. Now let us talk about the semi-formal. The semi-formal. So it's a halfway formal. That's the meaning. Halfway formal. Semi-formal letters are letters that we write to people whom we are not close to, or people who are not of our age, elders, people older than us. For example, a friend to your father, a priest, or your class teacher. So to these people, we write a semi-formal letter, not an informal, not a formal, but a semi-formal letter. So this letter is also simple. Why am I saying it is simple? The format is that of an informal letter, but the only thing that differentiates the semi-formal from the informal letter is the language that you use. Since that one you are talking to your friend, but in this case you are talking to someone who is older than you. So you won't use the same language as that one you are using in the informal letter. No, hi, hello. You can't use such language. So in such a letter, you would not use the same language that you would use when writing to a friend or a person of your own age. It's very different. The format of the semi-formal letter, as I said, is similar to the informal letter. So we start with the sender's address written on the top right of the page, just like I explained in the informal letter. Sender's address, the address of you, the person writing this letter. Then next you write the date, just like I explained. You leave a space. After the date you write the salutation. Now here you can say dear Mr. Soko, dear Mr. Chanda, because this person is older than you. So you can say dear Joe, dear Mary. This person is older than you. This is a semi-formal letter. It's not an informal letter. Then introduction, it is the same thing. You do greetings and you say the reason for writing the letter. Main body also, you simply talk about the business of the letter. Then you come to the conclusion. Conclude your letter and attract a reply. The farewell. The farewell here, mostly we use sincerely. We use sincerely when we are writing the semi-formal letter. You know, it's very different here. When you use yours sincerely, that means the person was mentioned by name in the salutation. Look at the salutation here. I said, dear Mr. Soko. So when I said, dear Mr. Soko, that means in my farewell, I'm supposed to use yours sincerely because I've mentioned the person. But if I say, dear sir or madam, like in the case of the formal letter, you will see when we'll be doing the application letter. When you say dear sir or madam, you are not sure of the name for that person. So that's why we use yours faithfully. We don't know the name of that person. But when we mention the name in the salutation, we usually put yours sincerely. So yours sincerely, comma, your names, your full names in capital letters. Then you put a what? A full stop. That is the farewell. I have a task for you. Your friend just got a 9 in English examination. Write a letter to comfort him or her. Write a letter to comfort him or her. Come up with your own address and try to write this letter. Try to write this letter. You know, when you're writing composition, you have to be creative. Come up with dates. In the exam, they won't give you date. No, 5th November. No, just come up with your own date. It has been your perfect tutor, Mr. Gilbert CJ. See you in the next video.